Hi everyone, I'm Karlynn, I'm Lauren's mom, and today we're going to make cheesecake. We're going to make kind of an Italian style cheesecake with ricotta cheese. It's going to have a graham cracker crust, and we're going to put it in springform pans, and I'll show you how to cook them in the oven so that hopefully they won't get cracked on the top. So let's get started. First we're going to grind up some graham crackers in on my Cuisinart, and then we're going to add melted butter to make the crust in the pans. Okay, we're going to grind up about 3 packages of graham crackers in the Cuisinart. I'm going to make 2 cheesecakes today, so I'm going to do about a triple batch of the recipe so that I have enough. Each recipe calls for 3 cups of graham crackers and a half a cup of butter, melted butter. Okay, we're going to pulse this Cuisinart until they get real fine. And I think I'm going to need another package, so I'm going to put another package in. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to put the graham cracker crumbs in the bottom of the springform pans. So if you don't know what a springform pan is, it's basically a pan with a bottom that will come out. So you unsnap the hinge, and then the bottom comes out, and that makes it easy to cut the cheesecake when you're done. Just stick it back in there, there's a little ridge inside that it fits into, and then you snap it back in place. Okay, so I'm going to put the graham cracker crumbs in the bottoms of these springform pans. Just going to even it out a little bit. We're going to put a little bit up on the sides and the bottoms. So now we need to melt the butter and put the melted butter in here and then form the graham cracker crumbs into the crust. Okay, so we need to melt the butter. We need a half a stick per recipe. So I like to put it in a bowl and then put the butter wrapper over the top so it doesn't splatter in the microwave. Probably about 1.5 minutes to melt the butter. Then we're going to put that melted butter into the graham cracker crumbs and mix it up and then pat it around the bottom of the pans to form a crust. Okay, so our butter's melted. Okay, so I'm going to put about 2/3 of the butter in the bigger pan and 1/3 in the smaller pan. And now I'm just going to mix that butter into the graham crackers. Just kind of move it around with a fork and smash it until it kind of gets all incorporated. It won't be super wet. Okay, then start patting it down into this from the center out, and then put a little bit up on the sides. So you can see I'm kind of patting it until it gets kind of hard, and then pat a little bit around the edges so you have a little bit of a crust on, or a little bit of a side on the crust. And just do that all the way around until it's kind of firm. And then I'm going to do that on the second one. Okay, you can see the graham cracker crumbs have all been kind of pushed into place, and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator to let them chill for about a half an hour, and that'll firm up all that butter and make it easy to pour the batter in. Okay, now we're going to mix up the batter. I'm going to make a double batch first time around and then make a single batch to get my 3 batches for my 2 pans. So this will be a double batch that I'm going to mix up on video. So first we need 2 packages of cream cheese. Okay, we're going to start mixing that up a little bit. We want this to be smooth. And then we're going to add a 15-ounce carton of ricotta cheese for each batch. So this is a 32-ounce carton, so we're going to put the whole thing in for a double batch. see, that's really smooth. So now we're going to add our eggs. Each batch takes 4 eggs, so I'm going to put 8 eggs into this mixture. I got a little shell, and a trick is to take an egg, your eggshell, and it'll scoop it right out. Okay, it says to lightly beat the eggs, so I'm going to just beat them in a bowl here before I start adding them slowly to the mixture. I'm going to scrape the bowl just once here. Okay, now I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt, so about a 1/2 teaspoon, since I'm doing 2 batches. And a 1/2 cup of sugar for each batch, so a whole cup of sugar. Okay, so this is where you can add flavorings, and this recipe is a recipe that calls for amaretto. So I'm going to put 1/3 cup per batch. I'm going to take a little bit of this batch out to add to my second pan, since I'm making 3 batches total and going to divide them up between 2 fairly large pans. So I'm going to take a little bit out and then come back and add the amaretto to one and add lemon juice to the second one. Okay, I've taken a little bit of the batter out of this to add to my second cheesecake, and I'm going to add 1/3 cup of amaretto, and then half of that, I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm going to mix that in. Okay, so now we have our cheesecake batter. You can see it's very smooth, and we're going to pour that into our graham cracker crust and bake it. Okay, I got my graham cracker crust out of the refrigerator all nice and chilled, and I'm going to put a piece of aluminum foil around the bottom edges so that the batter doesn't leak out. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to bake it in a water bath. So I'm going to put it down in another cake pan, and I'm going to add warm water in this pan about 1 inch up to the edge, and then I'm going to bake it in that, and that kind of supposedly helps keep the top from cracking because it's got some steam that's cooking around it. So I'm going to add my batter. And I've got water over here that's really hot. And I'm going to pour that around the edges of the pan until I get about 1 inch, 1/2 inch or 1 inch around it. You don't want too much. Okay, now I'm going to put that into a 325-degree oven and bake it for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. The second one is ready. I've got the graham cracker crust in the water bath, and I added a 1/2 cup of lemon juice, I'm sorry, 1/3 cup of lemon juice to this batter, and I'm going to pour this batter in for our second cake. Okay, and it's going to go in the oven. All right, about an hour I'll check it. In an hour and 15 minutes it should be done. Okay, I'm going to check the cheesecake. It should be firm to the touch in the middle, and they are. And I've read that they're supposed to be about 150 degrees. So I'm going to check and see what temperature they are. Oh, and they are. They're definitely 150 degrees in the middle. As you can see, they don't have any cracks. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out and let them cool in the pan for at least 30 minutes. And then put them in the refrigerator for a few hours or overnight before serving. And then we'll top them with some fruit and eat them for dinner.
And there you guys have it. My mom made delicious cheesecake. We had it for my dad's 70th birthday, and everyone loved it. My personal favorite is the regular one with lemon, but it was kind of split half and half on who liked the amaretto versus the lemon. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and head over to my channel to subscribe for more content like this. And I hope to see you guys again very soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.